Hey everyone, Updog here. It's the People's Envoy, and we are here to talk about May's news topics. For May, there was a lot of things that went on, some good, some bad. I got a huge slew of people in our voice chat here on Twitch, and then of course we've got chat, lovely chat going on. We'll take some of their comments as well for these news topics. But we have in voice, we have Darth Ursula. We have T-Dats.
Hello.
You probably know him if you've been around Twitch. He's everywhere. We have Bionic Legend.
Hello.
We have Old Timey Gaming.
Hey guys.
We got Sammy J.
Hi.
Sounds like he's watching a football game, maybe. And let's see, we got Pat Din, one of the best Crucible players out there. And we got Flint.
Hello.
One of the lovely streamers of Marvel Strike Force as well. And another streamer, Shamnado Gaming. Maybe not. Maybe he's AFK. I don't know. He's in the voice channel. And then we got Knight of Death. He likes to use the chat a lot, but he also likes to be in our voice chat as well. So yeah, we got Pat, and the news is getting fancy with Pat around. Yep, exactly.
Thanks for having us up, Doug. Glad to be here, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. So May kicked off with another month-long event, and this time it didn't have a featured certain character. It just had various characters that are mostly war characters. And then also, this is all on the May day, 1st of May, the Spider Society Showcase event was extended because earlier in April, they had promised that Showcase events would be completable unless they announce it ahead of time. So it wasn't going to be completable because we weren't going to get Penny in time, so they had to extend the timer out on that. So what were your guys' thoughts on both of those topics?
I think the biggest thing for me, Updog, is that they had a monthly event item that appeared in multiple events over multiple occasions. I've never noticed something like that happening before. The mercenary contract is what they had, and it was in at least 4 different events. It's in the most recent event right now that's ending soon.
Yep.
That to me has been strange. I think that kind of indicates to me that maybe there's not as much attention being paid to the planning and to how the monthly events work out. As somebody who does Stormcast and updates that sees these things on each week and every month, like it's something I feel like there's been a downgrade. Mobile Gamer has commented about how he feels like the quality of the graphics have gone down. Of course, with community manager Archangel stepping down or getting fired or whatever the case may be, feels like there's a lot of downward a pressure to try and save money. And I think we're kind of seeing it in these events and this planning and this preparation and things that things that didn't get missed are getting missed, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I'm going to chime in on that. The reason why they still have contracts is because there is a leaderboard for the M is for Mercs, and contracts give 50,000 points.
Yes.
Money. It all goes back to money, of course.
Yes. So this is the leaderboard Darth's talking about. And they did something a little bit different too, where they had like, what do they call it? The engaged player can get the contract, but then some of the events they had like spend milestones that you spend for, and they gave more contracts there to kind of separate out more on the leaderboard the spenders versus the non-spenders. So that was interesting. I'm sure they're probably going to continue with that, but
yeah, I've talked about this a lot lately. I feel kind of frustrated with the game, and that it really feels like this is an upward trend in trying to monetize this game and really trying to squeeze the money out of people. I was doing the math and calculating how much money it would take for me to get into the next difficulty upgrade in the Old Man Logan Trials just to try and stay competitive. I've said it, in several different streams. Like, this is very frustrating to me because, like, this is the first time, I played this game for 1,600 days that I feel locked out solely because like I'm not willing to chip in a little bit of money. Like it's not about the money. It's more about like I can't compete unless I am willing to spend money.
Right.
And that frustrates me more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, Steven in the chat saying the FOMO with the monthly event items being out of reach but not communicating to the players that they didn't need those to finish the monthly event was pretty scummy. Yeah, that could have been partially due to some of the lack of staffing, I guess, in the community manager section of the of the company. But yeah, I definitely agree, Steven. Oh yeah, I definitely gave them
That one was strange.
that feedback when they ran that. I was like, please don't do a back-to-back ISO 8 spending event again. I don't think, was it this one plus the one before it, or did we have a break?
Yes.
Okay.
It was that
Yes.
one. It was the one before this.
Okay. So yeah, there was one before this one, and then this one back-to-back, right?
I'm sorry, Updog, I've failed you with Stormcast lately, so I'm not quite.
Yeah, make
quite
sure
up
you
to
check
speed.
out
Gotta get back in the
Stormcast.
swing of things.
Stormcast T-Dats does that. You can find it out on our server on the Brotherhood of the Storm. He does update that every week, or he tries to when he's not too busy. And of course, I do the Storm Watch. We just got a follow from Boylon. Thanks for the follow, Boylon. We're just going over a monthly news video right now. So Boylon, if you have anything to share, that'd be. See, Boundless has a lot to learn.
Yeah, hop in and join us in voice chat if you can.
Boundless
buddy.
has a lot to learn about math, and yes, exactly, Boylan. The next thing we got going on is on May 2nd, the next day, Mercs for Money was announced along with the Old Man Logan Trials. Now, we'll get to the Old Man Logan Trials themselves later on in the video, but what do you guys think of just the announcement of Mercs for Money? Do we need another war team?
That, I think, to me, has been the biggest change, is how it's changed the new Cosmic Crucible meta.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I like the change in both though. Cosmic Crucible and War.
Yeah.
I like that you can use them on offensive, defense.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a way
Although
to
we
shake
didn't
that.
get to see them a lot on defense because they released an event where they said use them on offense or don't get points.
True.
Right.
Yep.
We haven't
Yep.
seen too much of it yet,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like they're definitely going to be a more offensive team in War, at least where I'm at. And Crucible, they're definitely going to be on defense the whole season.
I think
I'm
that-
all the time on offense.
Wait till they get stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 7
they're
red.
gonna
Why push? Why
What?
push it like about this team is even as like separate individuals, like Old Man Logan, he seems to be absolutely amazing. Like in the arena,
Yep.
he's hit the arena meta team,
Yeah.
and he's making such a massive, great, big,
Yeah.
awesome difference.
Right.
So, and in every section of the game, whether it be Crucible or War, this team seems to be quite a prominent new team and a fantastic team overall in all areas, where the majority of the teams are only fantastic in, say, one or two
Yeah.
of the areas of the game, like
Yep.
Crucible or Arena.
True. Yep. Yeah.
I
It's
couldn't
been
agree more about
crazy.
changing the arena meta. Like, if you guys have any doubts, look at your arena meta right now. You will see Old Man Logan. Like, if you have any doubts, you should be pushing this man to the frickin' moon. Don't
Yep.
wait. Don't wait at all. Push him to the moon.
Yep.
Everybody else needs to take a secondary priority at this point to stay
I disagree
relevant.
Yeah.
with what Tia just said.
Oh, you
If
disagree?
you
Okay.
are in the range, if you're in the range to get the upgrade tokens for Old Man Logan, wait to upgrade him, because then you will be wasting resources.
It's kind of a waste,
But what
but
if you're
is it
already-
really though? I don't know.
I think that
I
it's
don't
Sammy
regret-
who's doing that. Who hasn't upgraded
Oh,
Old Man
really?
Logan yet?
Sammy, you haven't? Huh.
Well, it's a trade-off though.
Level
Yeah,
6
it's
stage.
a trade-off.
You drop from top 5 in arena to top 50, so you got your trade-offs.
Yeah. True.
You will get left behind in the arena meta. Like, I'm struggling, like, in the 40s. Like, I could usually stay 10, 20, 30s. No, I'm struggling right now.
Yeah.
And it's because I haven't built up my Old Man Logan.
And there's also gold and training mats in
Yeah.
the areas where the tokens are to kind of make up for, you upgrading him early. You're going to be getting extra gold and extra training materials too. So
Yep.
waiting to upgrade Old Man Logan just for the tokens, I think, is a mistake.
Yeah.
Unless you don't care about War or Crucible or Arena, which is not a thing most players do.
Yeah. That's like 75% of the game there.
Disagree.
So.
Well, agree to
So
disagree.
I think the trade-off of upgrading this character to the moon immediately is well worth
Yeah.
the token not meaning anything.
Yep. I agree.
And if not, you will get left behind in Arena. And as we know, Arena is the #1 game mode. That's how you get cores, which generates everything else for this freaking game.
Yep.
It's also like a motivator. Like sometimes I go into war and I just experiment and I try to do some things just to spice it up. But it was a lot of fun today, so I was a little more focused. So having a team like this, it kind of brings back the something for war that can get stagnant. It brings back a little life to it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If you
Yeah.
haven't
War
tried
you
to
can
make money
pay for the
in
first
War
time
yet, you
in a
should
while.
definitely do that because
Oh,
they are
fun.
very fun in War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I have a gear tier 17 death pool, and the rest of mine are all like level 50 or 55. And I said, Bionic Avengers, 1.2 million Bionic Avengers, sounds good. And it was fun, and I absolutely destroyed them. It was great.
Yeah, I did like a 1.2
Probably
million
huge
punch up
place.
on like a Hero Asgardian dorm team with them. And my characters, other than Old Man Logan and Deathpool, like you, T-Dats, are like in purple gear or something, and they still just destroyed it. It was it was a lot of fun.
They're a fun team to play with. I really I'm surprised at how much I enjoy the bamboo eating part of it. Like, of course he's a fucking panda, so of course he's eating of course he's eating it, of course, and I think that's hilarious. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Steven said he had a big problem with the Old Man Logan announcement. They teased people for months about the legendary for Mercs for money. They let people believe for months he would be as easy to get as past legendaries, and then when it was finally time to get ready to unlock him, they pulled the rug by announcing the star requirements. Okay, yep, that's fair. That's definitely fair, Steven. Yep.
I agree
That's
with
my
that.
whole argument in a nutshell.
Yeah.
We could probably talk about that more when we talk about the actual trial itself.
Yeah. True.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Because that sounds like a big gripe with the trial.
Yeah. Yep. Boylon
Which is
says, I'm
definitely
not a spender on characters, but need to spend $30 on Starbrand to get a 5-star, and I could do the difficulty 12. Don't cave, Boylon. Stay free to play, man.
Because if you spend, you're just giving them more reason to keep on doing this.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly why I'm not going to. Like, I could have done this like 4 or 5 days ago, and I chose not to because I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to do. You didn't get me, you fuckers,
Yep, exactly. Alright, so next up was on May 3rd. Still, we haven't even skipped a day yet in May yet, but on May 3rd we had a gold blitz that lasted for 5 days, and we had the shiny coin store to go along with that. And the open all orbs button came back on May 3rd. And May 4th, the open all orbs button went away. So, what do you guys got for me on those two topics?
I don't remember the shiny store much, but wasn't it really bad?
It was okay. It wasn't the best store they've had, but
I
It
think
was
that
nice.
they needed. I kind of remember that the Mega Gold Orbs were only for the top like 5,000. I think
yeah,
Mega Gold Orbs should have been for all of them because
Yeah.
it was specifically
in the ranked
gold
rewards.
event.
Yeah, in the ranked reward. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
About
this.
the shiny store, that was
It comes back to Scopely is getting super greedy, and they're wanting people to spend money on every aspect of this game.
There was at least a decent conversion to character shards and at least G18 gear, so it wasn't horrible, but it was at least it was okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So there was one thing about the shiny store that I didn't really like. Was that the one that where in the beginning you had to spend 10,000
Yes.
a
Yes.
day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That part.
Part
Yeah.
of it
like,
was
horrible.
awful. That part was awful. After
Yeah.
that ended, the shiny store was fine, but I mean, a lot of the things in there that you would want to buy cost more than 10,000 coins, so it's kind of hard to do 10,000 a day, and that part of it was really frustrating. After that part of that event ended, when you could just spend your coins whenever you wanted, that was fine. Like, if they're gonna do an event store, they should have that.
There was a bad one though as well. There was shards you wanted, and it was 15. I think you had to spend 16k.
Yeah,
and you were like, oh,
16
now I can't do my 10 tomorrow because I've done
it was
everything
really
today. Like, it was just a maths fuck up.
Yeah.
Didn't we get comp for shiny? Like, we got a bunch of shiny coins for
yeah,
free?
I think that was like
a little bit,
towards the end of April.
It wasn't enough.
Or something, but
Yeah.
I definitely remember by the end, I felt like I was just spending coins because I had to.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
Yeah,
I was
I'm in
over.
I feel like I was just spending them so they wouldn't go waste.
yeah, yep. Yeah, I definitely passed that feedback along to the devs especially about the 10,000 coins per day thing. Like, just make it spend however many coins it was, 70,000 or whatever, 80,000 over the 7 days instead of having to do it every day, you know?
Yeah,
So-
that would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah, I can see a lot of this stuff is just repeating events. Like, they just kind of recycled the same things and stuff that they've already used like 50 times before.
Right.
You put a different name on it, maybe it's 6 days or 7 days, maybe it's a solo versus alliance event, but there's a lot of repeating of these events.
Yeah. How about the open all orbs? The open all orbs. Did anybody... What do you think? What do you think about that coming back and then leaving again?
I'm sorry. I got one more thing for this, and I'll hand it over.
Okay.
So, I actually, when I was at work, it turned on, and I was able to do it, and I cleared out all of my orbs that Monday, and then by, like, the time that mobile started streaming, it had all gone down. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Are you sure that wasn't the first time, or was that the second time that it came back?
It was that Monday. I definitely remember it was a Monday. So it was Monday in the afternoon, and then by Monday evening, it was all gone.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha.
I never got mine back.
Oh, you never got yours back?
Ever since they took it down the first time,
Yeah,
I've never been able to do open.
Yeah, Commander James is saying when it came back, it was super slow. That's what I heard. I never got to use it again either, like Pat and Flint. So, Omega Man with the follow. Thank you so much. Be sure to join the conversation here with the news recap we're doing if you want, and Run 7, you too, man, if you want to hop into the voice chat. I know it's kind of late for you, but
did we touch on that gold blitz that they had running?
Yeah, that was one of the topics. Yeah, that was one of the topics that I had mentioned. Yeah. Flint said he didn't like it because only the top 5,000 got a mega gold orb. But I thought it was still good, they hadn't done a gold blitz for a long time, like years.
Yeah, like you're still blitzing for something other than Ultimus food. I thought it was good, especially for the free to play players where blitz is one of their main avenues of getting resources. Having them blitz for gold is just something really good they should just have in the game every week, instead of those stupid orb blitzes that no one cares about.
Yeah. Yep, true.
I'm laughing at blitzing competitively for anything besides character shards. Like, no way. Like, I don't care. Like, gold.
Yeah,
like,
I
no.
didn't do it either. I did it for a little bit, and I was like, screw this, I'm over it. But for a lot of free to play players, it could actually be something good that they can do to catch up on some gold.
Yeah,
and not only that, newer players. I mean, that completely
newer
makes sense.
too.
Like, if you're willing to put that in that effort,
Yeah. Like Knight of Death here, he's a fairly new player, and he said he liked the gold blitz. I liked it because I had free time and I just ran through the rotations and was able to get a mega gold orb. So
yeah.
Kevin says gold blitz over premium orb blitz. I definitely agree with that, Kevin. They should do gold blitz every single week instead of the premium orbs. Yep.
Oh, I would love to have so much more of that. Like, I'm always so jealous anytime I see an event where you can get a mega gold orb. Like, oh my god, I need some mega gold orbs. Like, please, give me some mega gold orbs, please.
Steven says we need a diamond blitz, so they just need to replace the premium orbs with the gold orb, or the mega gold orb blitz, and then the red stars with the diamond blitz. There you go.
Unfortunately, I don't think they will ever do that unless it's those trashy Diamond Dawn orbs.
Oh yeah, the Diamond Dawn orbs, yeah.
7 red dudes.
Yeah.
Well, What I could see them doing is, like, you know how, like, you get 10,000 points for blitzing with the 7 yellow character? Is maybe... Huh?
Like the quick rumbles you're talking about?
Yeah. If they did, like, blitz with 1 diamond characters, and then you get more diamonds that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it could work, but also a lot of people will be frustrated because they don't have a lot of diamonds on characters because they're not ranked high in Crucible or not in the top alliance where at that time where people were getting diamond characters for like top rewards.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple diamond characters. Like, I pulled a 3 diamond Kestrel, and it's amazing. Like, diamonds are definitely worth it.
Just the drop rates on those Diamond Dawn orbs are just pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, they're horrible.
They're ridiculously horrible.
So the next thing that happened, guys, was the DD7 Celebration for Beta Ray Bill completing it. We got the 10 for 10 offers. We got some blitzes, apparently. I didn't really notice the blitzes, really. Maybe they haven't happened yet. I'm not sure, but we got... What else? We got a calendar, I think, didn't we? Something like that. So...
Yes, I believe so.
I'm not sure what little things we got, but I know the main thing was it was like an orb, and you can choose between Void Knight and Red Goblin.
Yes, Void Knight and Red Goblin, yep. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that one was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Those 2 characters are characters that I actually needed.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Although you couldn't...
Thank you, Beta Ray Bill.
Yes, thank you, Beta Ray Bill. I wish they would have done it like they've done in the past, where you could choose like increments of 25 shards of each of like Void Knight and Red Goblin, though, because that would have been nice to, like, let's say you were 25 shards away from the next star on Void Knight, you could have used 25 on him and 75 on Red Goblin or something like that. But it's just a little thing, but it was still good to have free stuff. The next topic that came up was the vote on the Karen Page character, what her appearance was going to look like. What did you guys... Which one was your favorite?
I don't remember them.
The one that won was my
The one that won. So there was one with wings. There was one that was like a wizard-looking one. And then there was like a archer type one or something like that.
Oh, the one with
wings.
wings.
I liked the one with the wings.
One with the wings.
Morbius.
Aesthetically,
the wings.
Aesthetically, the coolest.
So
I think it just reminded me of Lilith, and I was like, oh, Mommy Lilith is back.
Yeah, true.
I also voted for the wings,
mhm.
but I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but the one with the wings had bigger boobs than the rest of the other 2, so I don't know. Just saying.
I thought the wizard one
had
was more well endowed than the winged one. I don't know.
Oh, see, we're looking up, dog.
Yeah.
Dog was
You
looking.
freaking heterosexuals, I tell you.
So
if my parents walk by and hear this, y'all are explaining it.
Okay.
I'll explain it to them.
So you guys liked the winged one, but are you voting for Morbius then, or are you voting for Moon Knight?
No.
I'm
Moon Knight.
voting for Morbius because he makes more sense.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going for Moonlight.
I think for Moon Knight because he's a cooler character in my opinion.
Yeah,
and has a much better kit to work with.
And yeah, I think he looks better too.
So I'm
voted
also
for-
voting for Moon Knight.
Yeah. Moonlight.
I voted for Morbius for selfish reasons because my Morbius is higher than my Moon Knight is.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad reason. Hulk Oliver says here, I'll be happy if Morbin Time never comes back to Marvel Strike Force. Yeah.
What is Morbin Time?
Morbius, basically.
I will just say, my
It's,
final attack in war today was with my jank ass Dark Hunters team, and I was punching up with a Red Guardian, and it was really, really close because he was on the second to left hand side. So it's like I was all in. I was gonna completely win. I was gonna completely lose, and it all went my way, and I fucking wiped him and did like a 200k punch up, and it was great. I
Yeah.
loved it. So
Nice. And then Zero says, I voted for Moon Knight because I have neither Morbius or Moon Knight built, and I felt that less people will have Moon Knight built, so this puts Zero at less of a disadvantage, which is totally a Zero thing to say. If you didn't tell me who said that, I would say Zero said that. The the next thing that came up was May 10th, the Raid Store updates. I thought this was probably the biggest win of the month for the game.
I don't think there's anything negative to say about it.
Yeah. What was the best thing? What did you like the best about it, guys?
Oh my god, the graying out of the awakened abilities. Oh my
god.
god.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was very long overdue.
Yep. So they added the awakened abilities. Oh, go ahead, Flint.
I think that I'm only missing, like, Osmium now for the uniques for DD6. I think I have all the other uniques because of the update.
Nice, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I think I'm missing, like, 78 Osmium. So I'll have that completed by the time I need them to be upgraded.
Yeah.
So it's definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's helped a lot of other people progress faster.
So yeah, they added a bunch of rows of uniques, the centerpiece uniques like we see here. And what is there, 3-4 rows of those, so that's great. They reduced the costs, and then they made that each purchase for the origin gear is 100 pieces per purchase. So, and same for the catalyst too. So, yeah, overall, I felt that was the biggest win for the month of May for the game. So
I think that Black Cat and Nova being 10 instead of 5 is also good.
Oh yes,
and the regular credit.
Yep. Yes, definitely.
I think what they did with the raid store with that pricing just helps guys as mid game and beginners really have a chance to catch up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is really the only store where they can go all in like that.
Oh, that's unfortunate, Chuck, that you had just finished buying all the awakened abilities with the elite credits and then they switched them over to the regular. Yeah. That happens to me a lot with like diamond upgrades. I'll buy a diamond upgrade and then boom, we'll get one in like at a milestone or something for free. I'm like, man.
Right.
That sucks. So all right. Next up was the Pocket Dimension featuring Cabal characters. There's a lot to unpack here with that one. Basically, I'll tell you what happened, and then we'll let you guys.
A nightmare. It made me cry.
Okay. All right. So we had to use Cabal, and then they did provide some characters on some nodes to go with Cabal. Some of the character choices were really strange, I thought. Some were kind of cool. And so basically what happened was we learned, well, at least I learned that, or got reminded anyway, that when they say something is, let's see, when it's recommended, that doesn't mean, no wait, and when it's required. When they say something is required, they had Gear 14 required for this Pocket Dimension. That doesn't mean Gear 14 will clear it all the way through. That just means that that's your base level to get in the door. Now, they also have recommended levels for different modes. Like let's go into Incursion here. They have recommendations of level 95, Gear 18, 6 red stars, all that. That's more for if you want to sim through it or have an easy time with it. So that's something that I got reminded of with this Pocket Dimension. What were your... And then there was a node, was it like 7 or something?
7.
Yes, that was just impossible to do. They had to retune it, and then it seemed like they just undertuned it. Because they gave us a bunch of heals for free. A bunch, like thousands of heals for free. Which I think we could have made it through it with those heals, but people just freaked out and then they undertuned it, and it was just super easy after that. So,
and they gave us Super Skull and Apocalypse on that node.
Yes, they had to do
if you were stuck
on it. Yes, exactly. So, Pat, let's see, Pat, you're a high-end player. Were you able to get through it before they made the changes?
I did not enjoy it because it took ridiculously long for no goddamn reason.
Okay.
That was my take on it. Yes, I was able to clear through it. Yeah, I felt good about clearing it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It just took way too long it just felt like all they did to those nodes was just put the character healths, like the enemies, stupid high levels, so it would take long. Like, I didn't feel any sort of challenge or anything besides that node 7.
Okay.
It really just felt like they just upped all the character health just so it would take long.
Okay.
Just so people who had under-leveled characters were like not able to get through it.
Right.
That was my experience with it.
Okay.
I got stuck in the loop, so I had to wait for us to get Apocalypse and Scroll.
Okay.
Because I did what you should do, which was try the node and then heal and go back in. But it was just this: Morgan goes, Quicksilver goes, Morgan goes. It was just you just went in and then watched it kill you, and then retried. It was just horrible.
Yeah.
My level 75 Cabal got through the first 3 nodes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they did the rework, I was able to get through all the nodes.
Yeah. I had my 9-year-old daughter do my. I can't remember if I think I didn't get stuck in the middle of node 7. I just quit out of node 7 and like was waiting for it to get fixed. So I had my 9-year-old daughter do my second run all the way through by herself. I didn't help her one bit. She got through it just fine. Didn't lose any characters at all. That's how easy it was. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Steven in chat is saying that Scopely needs to grow a spine. There was 1 or 2 over 2 nodes, and instead of standing up for themselves and fixing the 2, they caved to players' complaints and nerfed the whole event into oblivion. Yeah. That seems to be a pattern of them just completely overdoing things this month, Steven. I don't know what it is about this month, but let's see. Chuck, you got hit with the Node 7 bug. Did you have to wait for the scroll and APOC to save you? Yeah, they made it way too easy, Underdog says. Yeah, definitely agree. You had to wait for... Okay, Chuck did have to wait for the saviors to come in. Gotcha. Okay. In fairness, I feel... Steven is saying, in fairness, I feel Scopely is a no-win situation. Some players want to challenge, some don't. No matter what they do, people are going to be upset. Yeah, I agree, Steven. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that, too.
Yeah,
like, I'm okay with the challenge. I'm not okay with, like, just no challenge and it just taking forever.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
if it was an actual challenge and it took long, it would be different.
Mm-hmm.
But it was literally not challenging besides Node 7.
Right.
And it just took way too long to do.
So, right after the Temporal Dimension, it was kind of reported, I guess, that there was a bunch of bugs. Actually, the devs actually reported on fixing some of the bugs that Mercs for Money had. There was bugs with Deathpool, Pandapool, and Deadpool. Some of the Deathpool ones I was able to find and shared with everybody on that. And they got those fixed pretty quick, so I do got to give them credit for that. And then also the same day, they increased the max raid energy. It's from 50 to 60. So has that made an impact on any of you guys?
I mean, this is also one of those things that there's nothing bad to say about it.
Okay.
Like increasing the raid energy is just overall good.
Okay, you did like it.
Doesn't
Okay.
negatively hurt anybody.
Yeah.
I think it feels punishing if, like, I decide to sleep in on a Saturday that like I'm at 60 energy instead of 50, so I know I didn't like fuck my lines over too much again.
Right. I don't know. Do you think
like you're still at risk to like cap out and like sit on energy, but a lot less likely.
Do you think it could encourage complacency though, or just like Sham said, like instead of just sleeping in one day on a weekend, like everybody will just let it max out to 60 now because now they have more time, so now they won't get into the raids as often.
As long as the raids are still done, I don't see the issue.
Yeah, as long as they're getting their attacks in and not and not like sitting on energy like crazy.
Yeah.
And not screwing over alliance mates, so that it really shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it really comes down to the thing where like that's not something that Scopely has impact on. That's entirely on alliances.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say, Darth? I heard you say something.
That's it. My alliance caps out energy anyways, so.
Okay.
It's one of the struggles that I'm running into.
Gotcha. Okay. Alright. Then we had the Mercs Golden Bounty event started. That one kind of took me by surprise. Something new they're trying. So basically what it is... Oops, where's it at? Let me pull it up here. You blitz with the Mercs for money characters, you get some extra gold, and you get some of the awakened abilities for Old Man Logan. And they're gonna run it for a total of 8 weeks. I didn't do the math really. I think I'll be getting the ultimate ability, but at the end. But
what week are we on for it?
We have 6 weeks left after this week, I think. So I've been keeping Stormwatch updated on that as far as like how many weeks are left. You can go check that out. But yeah, basically like what chat's saying, it's an event for whales to get more gold. I definitely agree with that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like it's just an event to reward the whales for buying character shards.
But does it feel as bad? Does this one feel better as a low spender or free to play than like compared to, I don't know, like the showcase event or something?
As free to play, I am getting 15 awaken abilities each time it comes around.
Okay. But do you feel like that event is better? Does it feel better to you than like the showcase events?
I don't think so.
Yes and no. I mean, showcase events last for longer, so I feel like you get more rewards in the long run.
Yeah.
But you're getting a lot more gold through this weekly Blitz.
True.
And for the Blitz, you want, you're locked behind a certain amount. Like, you have to unlock the character first, and then you can Blitz with them to get the rewards.
Right. Well, that's the same with the showcase events, though, too. You have to wait till you get the characters. And you have to beat the node.
Yeah.
So which one, I mean, would you would you mind that coming back again for another team down in the future, or?
Yeah, I definitely feel like the gold has been good.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna like the.
No, go ahead and finish your point, Flunk. I don't want to interrupt you.
Sorry, my mom just came in and told me I need to be quiet. Everyone's going to sleep.
Okay. Well, I think that it coming back, I think is a good thing because it's excessive, right? Even if it's just for like whales, it like makes it so that like let's say you get out of 200, you get like 150. Okay, well then whenever they come out in the raid store, you only need to buy 50 of the shards. You don't need to get all 200. You know, it makes it feel less bad whenever you do get the opportunity to get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel as bad. It doesn't. It honestly doesn't really feel that bad to me anyway. Like even if I didn't spend on these characters, I wouldn't mind this because at least I'm getting something.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That they weren't previously doing, so it wasn't really a bad thing.
Yep.
Just bonus stuff.
Winston says complaining about free stuff is dumb, and the other people in the chat are saying, free 4.5 million gold per weekend is pretty nice. So yeah, I think this is great as a good surprise to have this type of event here. So
yeah, we can actually get some of the awakened ability stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So the next thing that happened was Pandapool had an arena event unlocked. Basically, you unlocked him by getting some ranked rewards in arena and some other little ways here and there. But there was, when the event first started for these orbs here, the event starts, and then an hour later, the first arena payout happens, and that shard or whenever those payouts are for that part of arena, they didn't get those orbs. So they've ran this event, I don't know, probably 5-6 times now, and
More than that.
Okay, but it's only happened. It's maybe happened like twice, I guess. But it's like it's like what T-Dats was saying earlier. Like they keep running the same events, copy and pasting, and they still can't remember to do some of this stuff.
Yeah, they just can't get it right. I mean, me personally, I hate these arena character events. I think they're stupid.
Yeah.
Because you have to be on like 5 minutes before your arena pays out every single day.
Yep.
And it's annoying, it's stupid, and I would just wish they'd get rid of the event entirely.
Yeah.
But we don't live in that world right now.
The best way they could like fix that is make it so that the highest rank you held within that 24-hour period of the payout is what reward you get. So like if at some point in that 24 hours I was in rank 1, I would get the rank 1 payout. You know?
Yeah.
I like the arena events a lot more because I feel like you unlock the cancer faster.
Yeah.
It depends on how they make the orb. Like this Pandapool one is relatively better than some of the ones they had in the past. I mean,
if I Am Patriot was an arena event, I think everyone would have put the gate.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing to remember is it'd be lovely if they could fix the slingshot meta.
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
That one's only been going on.
But, like if they're tying, if they're tying character unlocks to a game mode that is arguably one of the most flawed game modes they have, and it's one of their earlier ones.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know why this is linked to arena. Like they know slingshotting is a thing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
They know that, and they still don't care that they just put characters in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense in my head. That's why I just want them to get rid of the arena crap, but the arena crappy events. But who knows?
Well, I understand them wanting to put like as many different of their nodes into, oscillation of importance, I guess you would call it. Like at the same time, they have to understand that these game modes need to be polished if they're going to be ready to get the character unlock.
Right.
Because character unlocks, like if you miss a team or two, you could lose out on legendary. You could lose out on, the meta. Like everyone was, like no one was really like too excited for Old Man Logan until fucking saw Old Man Logan fuck some shit up.
Yeah. Yep. I think the Crucible tournament definitely helped with that.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that.
Just ignore war
even though he was bugged as all get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, we'll get into that.
We'll get to that.
Let's see here. Chat. Steven said the Panda orbs are the best arena event orbs I can remember in a long time. I hope that these are the odds they use for similar future events. Yeah, the guaranteed 3 shards was nice. I personally didn't get very good drops from the orbs, but I'm glad you guys thought that the orbs were good.
I mean, they weren't. I wouldn't say they were good. I'd say they were better than some of the recent ones.
Yeah.
Like the last good one I can remember was Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie was pretty good. Yeah. But at least they had some decent, like newer-ish characters in there too, I guess, for some players that still need some of those.
Besides Deadpool and Deathpool.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then Winston in chat says, "Just collude and you'll do better in arena." That is a thing too, I guess. In slingshot and collude, I guess.
And they still want to put characters in arena.
Yep.
It just blows my mind.
Oh yeah, the gold. That was a problem with these orbs though. You would get a gold drop, like the little orb would drop down. It was gold, but you'd get like, I don't know, 4 shards of Pandapool or something. Yeah, they need to. We've told them a bunch of times when that's happened to other orbs that they really need to make sure they pay attention to that, I guess. So, well, we were talking about the Envoy Crucible tournament, and it's time to talk about it some more. So, I'll give you my first-hand thoughts on it.
Speaking of colluding.
Yes.
Try to not be salty.
No, I wasn't. I was actually surprised I got second, honestly. When they did that poll, to pick the rank the the people or whatever. Rank how you think how we're gonna finish. I picked myself as like 4th. So I was a little surprised. I mean, I didn't know that Old Man Logan was bugged because they didn't let us test him with the new rules. And I didn't notice it when I was doing my other Crucible testing with him. They just destroyed like everything. So I was just like, well, okay, this team is awesome. So I didn't really pay attention to the turn meter and stuff at the time when I did that. And so, yeah, beating Dorky Dad, that'll probably always be something that's going to be pretty great for me. And beating Mobile Gamer right after him, I was like, oh my gosh, when they faced Mobile Gamer in the second round, it's like, oh my gosh, this can't get any worse, can it? So, and then losing to Doolum in the last round, I had just lost to him in the live server, and he basically used most of the same teams, which I kind of used the same teams too, just, flipping around whatever worked better in the rooms based on the new room rules, because we were using, in the live servers, obviously Season 7, the tournament was Season 8. So he used some of the same teams. I probably should have planned for that, but I didn't really have a lot of time because I didn't know. I think it was only like 5 minutes I had from the time I knew that Doolum was going to face me until the round started. That was the hardest part of the whole thing, was the 1 hour time window to do your planning and your attacks and have enough time. And if you had to do cleanups, it was really tight on time. So it was a lot of fun. I'll do it again if I get an opportunity. I think other envoys should get an opportunity who haven't done it yet first. And I also think that Doolum should be able to defend his throne. So hopefully they will do all that the next time they do this. And
I think that...
Yeah. So what do you guys... What were your thoughts?
I think that what you were saying at the end there, other envoys that, aren't as, out there as far as, like, their name should also be invited to do, like, a separate one. And then the winner of that one into like, the main, like, circuit, right? So, like, because I know there's a ton of envoys out there, a ton of content creators for the game.
Yeah.
And I feel like, they should open that up to, like, you can submit, your information, like if you were like a content creator that was like super, like whoever wins like that on one to go into the main circle with Mobile Gamer and Dorky Dad and all of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was also talk of like it'd be cool to have like 4 envoys versus 4 devs or something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool too.
Yeah, that would be
fun. That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
So there's a lot of different ways they can do it. I don't know, like, what do you guys think? Like, some people were saying if they do it every brand new season, and, this season is only going to last for, let's see here. Got 40 more days. So, will it get too stale doing a tournament every, 50 days or so?
I honestly think it's a better way to introduce the room rules than just having all the envoys upload the room rule videos like an hour before the tournament starts.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a way cooler way to introduce all the room rules.
Agree with that.
I really don't think it would get stale because every time the tournament happens, like you're playing on a completely different meta that you don't know, so it's not going to be the same results every time.
Yeah,
it's going to be completely different every season. So I feel like it should be the main way they introduce the room rules because it was a ton of fun watching.
Yeah.
Something else they could do too to keep it from being stale is like halfway through the season, once like all the counters and all the best defenses are known, they could do like, we're gonna have our each other now that they all know the rules and that they've all played with them extensively, and now that all of you have played with them and showed them what the counters are, and now we're gonna see who really wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Like a
like
a preseason and a playoffs type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing I was looking at is when you have like all these guys that are 70, 80, and 90 mil down in Plat 1 and Gold 2 as a way to maybe create more interest because they're not playing for a reason, and then so maybe this is something that can just ignite more people and want to play.
Right.
I remember attacks. I go in and a guy wouldn't attack me back at all. He was signing into the game. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I think it's a marketing tool. If they do it right, it can really make the Crucible the biggest part of Strike Force game.
Yeah.
Well, it also
I agree with y'all,
because-
Tane.
Yeah.
I think as well, like having no diamonds and stuff like that was actually good.
Yeah.
Because the guys who
man.
are used to using really big accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it kind of made it a lot more even.
I think
and
that's
maybe
part of
even
why
if
I
it's
beat
just
Dorky was because he's used to a huge roster and I'm used to not as big of a roster and I know what will work and what won't.
Right? I think that was a good design.
Same with Doolum too.
unintentionally,
Doolum and I
you see
have
what I'm saying?
similar
Yeah.
accounts, so. And Mobile Gamer
So,
too,
going
like
back
he's
to
used to a
that,
big
I think
roster.
I think it would be interesting to see them do, instead of maybe every character 7/7, maybe have them 6/6 level 80 to show more of the game, because not many people really have 140 million TCP. Like, that really doesn't show how good these teams are going to be, because not everyone's going to have them.
So there is a problem with that, and that one of them has to do with reworked characters. A lot of the stats that come to the reworked characters come from those higher gear tiers and those higher levels.
Yep. And
also characters at low levels like that do not at all play the same as they do like level 100 gear tier 18 7/7. They play completely different. And it wouldn't really make sense for them to showcase characters that aren't at their absolute like peak potential.
Right.
Because characters like Kang perform a drastic amount differently between gear tier 18 and gear tier 50.
Yeah. There's a big difference between a 7 red Kang and a 3 diamond Kang. Because I have a 3 diamond Kang, and my 7 red Kang during the tournament, he did not hit as hard as I wanted him to, and it cost me a match at least, one match at least. So, go ahead, Jim.
I think that's going on with what happened with Dorky in Room 1, when he dropped those 3 attacks.
What I was starting to say was, like, what they're not going to want to showcase, because you have to also keep in mind, like, I forget who it was, they were saying, oh yeah, Old Time was saying, like, he had a guy that didn't even attack. If, you know, these people are going to be watching these content creators play this game, but they're going to be interested in, like, seeing what's going on. And also new people that are, like, new to the game, seeing these tournaments, they want to see, okay, well, I just got this random character, his name's Kang the Conqueror. I've never heard of him except for an MCU movie where he got beaten up by fucking Ant-Man. So, like, you know, how good is he really? Well, then they get to see, like, okay, well, this guy's able to do this with him. You know, maybe I should put some fucking thought into, like, leveling this character, all the different kind of stuff. He's talking about how good the character is on his main account, all the different... And so if it's in the actual, like, every character's upgraded, we get to see, like, the interesting uses for all these different characters that you may not have ever thought of, you know?
Yeah.
So, going back to what we said earlier about Beta Ray Bill getting a 3-diamond OML Logan for completing DD7,
okay.
I think that the winner of this CC tournament could get something.
Yeah, we kind of asked them about that. Yeah, we kind of asked them about that.
Yeah,
like,
even if there's like...
Yeah, if Doolum could get a new room named after him, or he could take part in creating a room for Season 9 or something, I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, something like that is
design
cool.
or something.
Like, something like that is cool. Giving you guys a 3-diamond maxed out character,
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about
Yeah,
that.
let's not do that, no.
Getting to like maybe have part in creating a room,
Yeah.
or have his name somewhere on the game to like
Yeah.
say, hey, this Envoy won our most recent CC Envoy tournament. Like, check him out, see what he's about. Like, something like that should definitely be in the game for the winners of these tournaments, just to give more incentive to it.
Yeah, they could do it like on this screen here,
that,
where the leagues are, or something.
Yeah, and like on top of that, I think that the game developers should take more attention to like really putting offers out there. Because like a random message, because I ignore all my inbox messages. A random inbox message like once every like 6 months for a content creator is not sufficient.
Yeah.
Like something that, like, you know, if, you know, since Doolum won that CC tournament, okay, well now, you know, have it so whenever you go into Cosmic Crucible, you know, if, you know, they have like a tab of, you know, oh, are you interested in Cosmic Crucible? Well, you know, you could see the most recent winner of the CC Envoy tournament.
Yep.
His content is here, and it's just a link to his channel.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that, like, all they would really need for that is, like, just a signed, you know, release agreement from each envoy that they want to put the name in there. And I don't think any envoy would ever be like, no, I don't want you to broadcast my channel on your game that I make content for.
Yeah.
But going on to what Champ's saying, is recently they've been doing those videos of the new characters. Maybe that envoy that wins could get a video where he gets to plug his channel and talk about like his experience in
like
the
on the strike
Crucible.
times.
Yes,
Yeah.
but yeah, where they get like 30 seconds to say whatever they want, and as long as it's approved and like within terms of service and all that,
Yeah.
it will be uploaded for all players to see.
Yeah, that'd be kind of
And
cool.
they could also have like a
Like,
whole
each
ass
language.
tab in the game where it's like, instead of like a help tab, it would be like a, you know, meet the content creators tab, and it's just envoys and like a small like brief description of like what kind of content they like to make. So, like for, you know, Dorky it'd be, you know, rage content. For mobile it'd be, you know, overall content. For
Yeah, they definitely need
Sierra it
that.
would be like Crucible content, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many new guys don't know the game. They definitely need that so they can
Yeah.
be directed to where to go to.
I mean, perfect example is Flint. Like, he upgraded fucking Black Bolt, and now he talks to us, and he stopped upgrading Black Bolt. You know, like, it's those types of things
Yep.
that you need to meet these people to know.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, when you think of an MSF content creator, you go straight to mobile gamer because he's the most watched content creator.
Right.
He is number one. Like, I didn't know who Updog was, but till Sham introduced me to you.
Yeah.
Like,
It should just say Cosmic Crucible Season of Doolum when I open up Crucible, is what Sam says. Why Sam?
God.
And
Just
then
like cool, like, alliteration with, like, a room name, like, Doolum's Destruction or something. like,
yeah, that'd be cool.
You know, or like,
hmm
or like, if you win next time, you know, have a room called Updog's Upheaval, or like
Yeah.
something like that, like,
Uh-huh.
Mobile's
No, the
Madness, you know,
doghouse.
things
Yeah.
like that. Like, there's
we
tons
the
of different
doghouse
things.
for Updog.
You know, and like the thing is that like they come up with these like dumbass names like Under the Weather.
hmm
Yeah.
They could fucking have stuck like Doolum's Destruction in that room, and it would be just fine. It doesn't
Yeah.
actually have anything to do with the room.
Right, right. And then Steven
But,
says...
like, it could also be,
oh.
you know,
Uh-huh.
it could also be like, you know, that envoy could, before the tournament, each of you like submits like what your favorite room from all the different Crucible seasons is, and then they just redo that room,
Yeah, yeah.
rename.
I'm
Whatever your
telling you,
name is.
I wish they would do like more rooms based around like what we had for packs in the past or scourges or whatever. I really like the warp world pact. I think that'd make for a really cool room idea. But Steven also said about the Crucible thing. If just imagine the devs saying experiencing what Dorky went through with Old Man Logan gains turn meter on any allies getting attacked.
Yeah, we'll see the devs actually play test their game for once.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't think they would do it, because they don't want to give away
They'd
any.
get exposed.
Yeah. hmm
Oh yeah, no, they'd have to be worried because if one of them was like, I didn't even know they did that, they'd be like, dude, that's like the whole design of their kit. What do you mean you didn't know they did that?
Yeah.
It's like, that's your job to know that they do that.
Exactly.
What, you didn't know that?
Or, oh, this is a bug? I didn't know this was bugged.
Yeah, it would just look
Yeah,
terrible.
that would
on
be.
them.
Luckily,
That'd
though.
be funny though. I'd
Really,
love that.
really bad. It would be hilarious, but they would never.
Oh, yeah,
do it
fucking
because they would
hilarious.
Yeah.
look like fools.
But none of the
They'd get memed so quick.
rooms were bugged, so that was a good thing. Every single
No, just the
season.
characters that were in them.
Yeah, every single season that I've been an
very
envoy
shocked.
for, they've had a bug in at least one or more rooms, and so I will give them props to that they did get the room rules right at least. So
And the other positive effect of having the Envoy tournament is like, if there is a bugged room, they see it on your tournament instead of when the live game drops and they have to fucking fix
Right.
it for all of the players.
Yep. Let's see. They gave out some more info on upgrade tokens, and I guess they're going to give out some tokens for new players and maybe even returning players. So that was good news, I guess. Didn't really affect me at all, but it's good for the game, I think. So
Question.
Yeah.
Did I miss the Old Man Logan talk?
Not yet. We're getting there.
I definitely
Yep, we're getting there.
I definitely 10 minutes. I was just wondering.
So this is the upgrade tokens, at least for Old Man Logan, but supposedly there's going to be some for Crucible characters so that new players can get into Crucible faster, and maybe some raid characters too, if I remember right. But yeah, I think that's pretty nice that they're doing that. That's part of their focus this year on improving the new player experience, or even returning players too. So I think that's good that they're doing that. So then they did add, speaking of these Old Man Logan rewards, they did add this, we talked about it a little bit, but they added the gold and the training mats to, well, I guess every tier.
Yeah.
But some of the higher tiers, they added some more relevant stuff to those higher tier players as well. So I thought that was good because, yeah, the tokens definitely do change that a little bit, that aspect of it. I'm curious to see how the second run's going to go on Old Man Logan's trial, to see what they're going to do with the shards and everything like that, what the rewards are going to be, if they're going to be the same. So I guess we'll see how that goes. The Old Man Logan trial started, and the Alpha Flight full team was announced on the same day as that. So tell me what you guys think of Old Man Logan trials. Let's get a deep dive.
Love it.
I love everything about him.
Burn it. Burn it all to the fucking ground. Burn it all.
I would like to start with that Old Man Logan trials are very dumb.
Okay.
I think that they should not be locked behind star levels.
Okay.
Out of Time was announced that they will be star leveled, but not Cabal.
Cabal, yeah.
I think that was weird of them to drop on us that Cabal's gonna be stargated.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That happened that way.
I didn't know any of them were going to be stargated until like 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah, true.
Which was,
I think that it was
strike one.
Just strike one.
I think it was Nah.
So,
I think it was Nah. Oh my god.
In my personal opinion, whenever it comes to this game mode, I think that they did shoot themselves in the foot by making it a Stargate requirement, because the whole purpose of these game modes whales, if you were willing to. At the same time, if we ignore the stars and just look at the event overall, the different nodes, they were teams that were really needed, I think that this has got to be one of my favorites. As far as like, I had to actually strategize on this hero skill. None of the beginning nodes just like fell over. I actually had to fucking think. Me and Old Timey were sitting there for 2 hours trying to figure out the actual best way to do all these different nodes. I came up with some cool shit, he came up with some cool shit, and at the end of it, we now have a way to do it where you end it with all of your fucking abilities up, all of your solid.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that before. With the Morgan trials, it was just fucking walk. Half the Horseman trials.
Yeah, except for the Web Warrior node.
Irrigated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it was just, dodge if you're lucky.
Yep.
And then, on that topic, too, the same topic, actually, yes, there wasn't technically star requirements in the past trials, but there was definitely, they made them more difficult, so you felt like you either had to gear them higher.
Yeah.
So technically, those have always been there. We just haven't officially had them.
True. Yeah. I think it's more about you weren't told in the past, but now you're being told that you can't go
that's
this
literally
high.
What it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's also not even that. I remember the Black Cat trial. I had a lot less powered characters than everybody else. I managed to get a 7 yellow Black Cat.
Wow.
Just by resetting a bunch. I had even when people were putting out guides and saying which characters to use and which places, I didn't have them.
Wow.
So I had to come up with my own ways to do them to get that 7-star Black Cat. I was able to do it after many hours, after multiple resets. With this one, it did not feel that way, and thank God that I got a donation on my stream where I can get Cabal and Out of Time up to 7
Oh,
stars.
wow.
Because
Nice.
if I didn't have that, then there
Yeah.
would be no chance of me getting a 7, no matter how many times I reset it, no
Right.
matter how many hours I spent on it. There was no shot at me getting a 7 star on this one because it's just completely locked out.
I checked earlier, and I did difficulty 14 out of 15 with every single pact, and I did it pretty efficiently. I just earlier, like an hour ago, got knocked 1017.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like it's literally designed for you not to even have a chance of getting a 7 yellow without having 7 yellow characters.
Right.
Which I think is the biggest hit that this trial took.
Yeah.
The nodes in the team comps you have to use in this trial, for the hero skill nodes specifically, are extremely prescriptive, and they might as well have just called it the Spider Society section.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, there is no reason to call it hero skill. They only did that so people were allowed to sack it, which they could have just
No,
added
it's the
pack.
stack then
Yeah.
Spider Society.
Yeah, it's stack then
No,
Spider Society
just that.
section.
Mhm.
That's it. You try to
So-
use any other team in here, you're not unlocking Old Man Logan. Good luck, get fucked, Commander. Like that's what that section was.
Yep.
And then they had the Cosmic Bio section, which for a good portion amount of players needed to have scroll.
Yeah.
Depending on what
Right.
difficulty
Oh, yeah,
you're
for
running.
sure,
You
yeah.
need scroll there or you're screwed.
Yeah. Yep.
And villain section is what the villain section's always been. It's been a cakewalk. Unless, of course, you don't have a lot of the characters you need. Like Super Skrull and Apocalypse were
Right.
very instrumental there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but if you're doing like the higher tiers, you already have Super Skrull and Apocalypse.
Yeah,
And-
I'm saying like
Yep.
for mid-game players, like if you have Apocalypse but maybe don't have Skrull yet, and you have like 5-star characters, maybe somehow, some way, that you're not getting through Cosmic Bio on a...
Well, Cosmic Bio is I didn't even use Skrull on the first node, and I only used Skrull on the second node because
Really?
yeah, I didn't use him at all.
Wow.
What difficulty was that? 14?
14.
Okay, well maybe I'm exaggerating the Cosmic Bio section, but
The
your
second
skill
node
just-
is nearly the first node is way worse than the
Yeah,
second
it's
node.
kind of hard.
Yeah,
Which I also
the
like that they
second
did
node's
that.
a joke.
Yeah.
And that's another problem. The first nodes were extremely harder than the latter half.
Yeah, which
Well, see,
I
that's-
Not
I don't
a
like
problem. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I
that's-
think it's decently a good. I think overall it's a good thing. I just thought it was weird
so
that they
Well,
kind of
it's-
just like blatantly said it. Like
It's better
even
though
nodes
because
should-
think about the old days when you have to get to nodes 8 or 9 and it's hard and you can't get through and you have to reset and start
Yeah,
all the way from the
yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
Old time, you talking about the old times
Yeah,
again.
that's what the whole time is. This is a
Back in
little
my
bit-
day.
But I don't mind them doing it this way, gating with stars. My problem is you don't like when you overlap with the Crucible, then don't take us backwards because you're already making people pay. You're gonna make people pay to get the legendary. And in the old days, I get it because guys would pay to get all these 7-star teams, and then you'd have like Juicy come in with his 5-star team and be top 50.
Yeah.
So they didn't like that. So now, so if you're gonna do this, then there's no need to push people backwards because you're making it's a double pay.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So now you're making guys. It's such a discouraging part of it. So just if you're gonna gate it here, then loosen up on Crucibles and don't put people backwards. So when they get past, if you're 40 mil and you get past somebody 90 mil, don't make them fight them all over again every season over and over again. That way
Right.
they can try to move on to a different section.
Right.
My biggest problem with this trial was the star gating. I thought was really scummy and gave no possibility to smart players who had 6-star characters to even attempt, or maybe attempt, but just get knocked out of rewards anyway for a 7 yellow. I just thought it was really scummy.
Yeah.
I think
That players barely even have that option to just
Yeah.
play it for hours and hours and actually get a
This-
plan together to do it.
This was the first Scourge that I autoed through difficulty 10. I've had nothing to do since the whole time since the start. And it's been a bummer.
Yeah.
I think that like stargating it too was also kind of shitty because at the same time, like they have all these. I don't know if you've ever seen the advertisement. Not a good thing. They're so fucking stupid. They're like, oh yeah, well I can't get past Doom. Oh, just use fucking Apocalypse. Like, no, bitch, I'm not using Apocalypse. Fucking Doom. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, they advertise this game as a strategy-based game. In reality, the strategy is who has the bigger credit card.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's all this trial was to me.
Yeah.
Like, the nodes weren't as, like, they weren't as hard as previous ones were, like, strategy-wise. It really was just, like, what node do I have to sack, and which one is gonna take longer. Like, this trial at the higher end is just an efficiency battle. And efficiency battles, as you guys know, are always fucking based on the wallet.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, even efficiency battles like in Crucible are based on the wallet. Because if I've actually, for the first time I ever won, one of those was like, the guy was like, I think 200k lower than me, but because we tied, I won.
Right.
Yep.
I was like, get fucked, Commander. Sucks to be you, you know? You should have spent the 13 pennies that I've spent, you know?
Yep.
I've got a problem though as well, which is if you'd spent on the 7-star characters all the way through, and then you don't get the 7-star this time, and then potentially everybody else, like, because next time only the top 500 get 7-star again, and you're kind of having those people that do spend getting, you know, like, annoyed because they didn't, you know what I mean? To me, that's actually an issue, because I want people to spend on the game and keep it running.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't want somebody that's going, well,
because you have to remember,
I spent $1,000 and didn't get to get a 7-star. Well, I'm not going to spend next time.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, you also have to remember that whenever you're spending on these characters for these like star-gated things, if you get 7 you know, on at a time and on Cabal, but your fucking Spider Society's all 3 red stars, you're fucked. Like, you're not getting through it.
That's one of the problems
you have to buy 7 stars for all the sections, not just the required sections.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems I had. Like, I had my 7-star at a time in Cabal. My Spider Society was all 5/5. So that section, the hero skill sections, were harder for me than the actual named sections.
And like, I got through difficulty 14 with all packs with, I think it was, what was it, old time? Pav? And a 4-star penny?
Yeah, it was 4-star.
And I was healthy, but it also took like a few resets, and also knowing, like, old time, and I sat there and we'd fucking through like every single okay, should I do the ult here? Should I do it there? Let's test it here, let's test it there, and things like that. And we found the best way to do those nodes, at least for what I had, and it was interesting. But you had to like really sit there and like strategize every move.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And sacks. Right.
Sacks are very important. You have to like, I had a very specific sack team, and then I used minions to double sack, and then I was able to walk through the fucking node.
Yep. Big sacks are better than small sacks.
Oh yeah, especially, but you don't want a flabby sack. You want a big, firm sack.
Unless you've been in the pool, then you get shrinkage.
All right, let's see. From chat, we have Steven. Regarding the Old Man Logan Trials, we don't get much content, so it really needs to count. If Boundless wants to gate the rewards, that's one thing, but players shouldn't be being gated out of the little bit of content that we actually do get. That's a good point. I like that. So...
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, people that have... because the star requirement is not necessary, because people that have them at 7, they're going to do it more efficiently.
Yeah.
So they're not worried on the leaderboards.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, they're not worried at all on those leaderboards.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing I'm looking at, is like, if you're going to start gating here, and you're only going to let guys that pay the $2,000 or $3,000 to put the 7 red or the 7 yellows on the teams they need, then when you go into something like a war, or definitely Crucible, you've already got that gated by the wallet. So now it's such a discouraging part of what they're doing here. It could drive so many people away from the game, because it's like when they were they were making gold and mats hard to get. You can't make both hard to get. You got to give up on one and give people the other.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, last topic. We're gonna end this on two negative topics. Is Mephisto is getting buffed. Actually, he did get buffed already. He's live in the game now.
For no reason.
Well, there is a reason.
Love it!
A lot of the top-end war alliances were saying how war is too easy. They wanted more of a challenge. It was being decided by like 2 losses, and also that Mephisto was being too easily countered for being the top meta character, so Mephisto got buffed. And 1, 2, 3, you guys tell me what you think. Go!
Oh
Mephisto,
my god.
I'm telling you right now, did not need a buff. What they needed to do was make it so that fucking New Warriors wasn't the goddamn season team. Like, it doesn't make any sense to put Crucible team as like the war season team.
Yeah.
That's the perfect opportunity for them to rework a team like Heroes for Hire.
Yeah.
Like, you know, New Avengers, like all these other raid teams that like people still, but not really. It's kind of like find out what counters them and then adjust the fucking room rules so that it doesn't counter that anymore. You gotta find something new. Find something that's not stale.
Right.
That's what they wanted, not a fucking rework to a character that like, what, I think like 1,000 people have?
Not even 1,000, yeah.
I think they could have, they could have just made the rules of war different, so every room Mephisto would have just been tough if that's what they wanted to do for war.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Crucible too. Like people who had Mephisto weren't happy that Mephisto was getting one shot in Crucible.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm getting at is like, I get they want him to be king in every game mode, but that's the whole locking people out.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if you remember Philosopher was talking about that. If you lock guys out of every game mode, why will they play?
Right.
You can't have a game mode for the top players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's the thing for war. Mephisto in war is 10 times harder to beat than he was in Crucible.
Before the buffs?
Because you had to, no matter what team Mephisto was with, you had to sack Mephisto in war.
Right.
Which is fine. I mean, a single character pulling a sack team, no matter what in war, should already be a good enough advantage in a top war alliance.
Yeah.
But, you know, they cry about that for some reason. Scroll is the same way. You sack Scroll, you can easily counter him after the sack.
Yeah.
Same way. Scroll didn't get buffed.
Right.
Alright, that's enough for war because I don't see Mephistos in war. Alright. Mephisto in Cosmic Crucible, I can see where people are getting mad with him being easily one-shot by Cabal. Like, a Mephisto, say Mephisto gets put with Mercs for money. Cabal's one-shotting it.
Yeah.
Because Cabal neuters the Mercs for money team.
Yep.
And all you have to worry about is Mephisto.
Yeah.
So I guess they're like their newest team, like their newest big legendary, being paired with Mephisto getting one shot by Cabal. That I can see being a problem.
Yeah.
But where you have to start, you know, telling the Krakens like, hey, don't put your Mephisto with fucking out of time without Black Knight because it's gonna get rolled. You're putting Mephisto with 4 trash characters. You're gonna get beat. The same thing with Skrull. If you put Skrull with 4 dummies, Apoc Eternals, Emma, and a Pre-Taunt will roll over it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it again, Skrull did not get buffed.
Yep.
When he was getting one shot.
True.
So in Crucible, one lost match can cost you the entire thing.
Right, exactly.
So you have Mephisto, I don't. If you have Mephisto with a good enough team where it warrants me to sack it, you should already win.
Yeah.
You're a Kraken with a character that is this good that I don't have.
Yeah.
And I have to take a hit against it.
Yep.
I should not be beating you.
Right.
That is your fault at that point.
Yeah.
Don't put Mephisto with garbage.
So
don't put Skrull with garbage.
So you're saying that's
put Apocalypse with garbage.
Is that a skill problem then?
It is definitely a skill issue. I am saying that it is a skill issue. Do not put Mephisto with characters as bad as hand minions.
Right? He's saying buff scroll. That's what the devs would think, yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of counter you on that a little bit. I do think it doesn't matter how big or if they buff Mephisto or not. Cabal should always beat Mercs for money. It doesn't matter how big they are.
I'm not
Mercs
saying
for
that
money
they shouldn't.
Is a damn war team. Cabal is a crucible team.
Yeah.
Okay, but we also have to realize the absolutely broken character kit of Old Man Logan. That guy on release was definitely not a war only tune.
Yeah,
that's
that was
true.
made blatantly obvious. Same with Black Cat, same with Green Goblin. You can make that argument for Nova because Nova is basically a plug and play tune in Crucible.
Yeah.
While the others are not.
Right.
But like it goes back to this. I mean, like people are comparing Mephisto to Apocalypse. Okay, guys, Apocalypse was dog shit on release. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Apocalypse was a dog shit character on release. He needed to get buffed.
Right.
Mephisto's kit was perfectly fine. You had to sack him everywhere. People in Arena with Mephisto were not losing to people without Mephisto.
Right.
Right.
There is no reason why this character got as buffed as he did. And the main buff that is ridiculous is them taking exhaust out of his passive where he doesn't get empowered.
Yeah.
That is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Because that almost makes him unclearable.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right,
And in war.
That's the thing I'm getting at is like if you do that.
And in war, I've seen people doing like 6-7 hits against him. I'm like, he did not need to be this
Like
good. Scroller 8-pop were not this good.
Right.
Remember when Heroes Fire first came out? Guys were getting 20 and 25 defensive wins because you couldn't beat them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's what they're doing now. And so when you have guys that pay for Arena, they pay for Crucible, they pay for War. It creates a second class of players. So even a guy like Juicy can't go in and be in the top 200 anymore.
Yeah.
And so now it just becomes something that nobody's interested in. You know, who cares who's the top 200? It's all the guys that have millions of dollars. Who cares who they are?
I don't know. Pat's in the top 200.
I'm in the top 100 for now. I won't be now.
Yeah.
I will be out of the top 200 very soon because of this buff.
Right.
Right, but what I'm getting at is like, who's going to be interested in
get good?
Like, you get interested in watching to see who the top 100 is because it's somebody you recognize. You've seen them in Discord. You've seen them on the screen. You've seen them in a YouTube.
Yep.
And now,
for the record, Zubin is number 1 right now with 18,100,000 points.
Right.
Thanks
Zubin
for the update.
like what?
There,
He
T-Dats.
spends like what on the game? Does he spend like 100,000 a year on the game? So that's what I'm getting at. So if you have all these top 200 guys spending $50,000 or $100,000 on the game, who cares? Who wants to watch them? Who cares? In every avenue, so nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
It's a killer.
Platypus Messiah is only 13, fucking peasant.
yeah.
50% health.
Yeah.
He didn't need it.
At least they didn't get the damage though, right?
Some of the text changes, like some of the mechanic thank God. Some of the like mechanic changes, like to his empowered state, I get, because when he was on defense, he was only doing exhaust and not the expose, which is it is rough because like you want Mephisto to do like his full stuff on defense. Like he's never using his exposed empowered ability on defense. I think that's stupid. He should be able to do that. He shouldn't be applying a taunt to himself. Why are you applying taunt to your character that you don't want to die?
Yeah.
That part was stupid.
Yeah.
The main parts that make Mephisto just this immovable object now are the health buff and the exhaust being removed from his kit, so he's not like neutered when he's sacked.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't even talk about it. He's clearing vulnerables when he takes his turn now.
Yeah, that was pretty big.
Say goodbye to Cabal one-shotting him. That's never happening again now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it just scares me to think about like what kind of character they have to release to counter this fucking guy now. Now that he has literally 0 downside, 0 flaw.
Right. And when are they gonna release that kind of character too, right? Like how long is it gonna be? Like
that's right.
Oh, right.
Professor
Black
X.
Knight.
Could be Professor X, yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, I honestly
No,
don't see any other character.
They're thinking
countering
longer
it.
game. I'm sure of that.
I don't know, man. I mean, this is encouraging for a lot of
Yes.
guys. Think about the guys that are starting off, they're 30, 40, 50 mil. And then they have to come in and actually grind through every aspect of the game to get to Dark Dimension. And then they get Mephisto a year later.
yeah.
They're never really, they can never catch up. They're never getting to those, in any aspect of the game, they can't get to where the better rewards are. They're not leaving any avenues to get in.
Right.
That's the problem. And I try to say something about being in top 200. It's just like what Pat said. How long can you be top 200 by the end of this season? Because those top 1,000 guys that have, if it's 1,000 guys that have Mephisto, there's only 200 places. So if you don't have Mephisto,
it's not even remotely possible now. If you don't have Mephisto, you're not getting into the top 200.
right, exactly.
Unless the Mephisto player is dog shit and doesn't clear a room.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's over 200. Let's see.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
over
see
200, right?
Like, if you have Mephisto,
see,
there is
yeah.
no reason why you shouldn't be top 200 in Crucible. There's no reason, because he's basically not clearable right now.
Right.
Well, you know what Mobile Gamer said, right?
What?
What's that?
He said, "Never, never, never gonna get Mephisto."
All right, guys. Well,
I just feel it.
oh, go ahead, Pat.
I could talk about this for hours. Go ahead.
That's okay. Anybody else want to comment before we wrap it up here, I guess?
Pat, let's hear what you got to say, buddy.
Krakens didn't cry when Skrull was getting one shot, and now they cry because their shiny red devil is getting one shot. Don't put Mephisto with trash, you stupid Krakens.
Yeah. Oh, Steven wanted to say, regardless...
I'll say it's all about the community, brah. It's all about the community, brah.
Steven wanted to say, regardless of how you feel about the Mephisto buff, they should not have touched the way exhaust works with them. The exhaust mechanic exists for a reason, and we don't have the best matchmaking, so it's paramount that we have a pity mechanic for disproportionate matches. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's the biggest change.
They should have. If there was one part of Mephisto's kit that they should not have touched, it was the exhaust part.
Yeah. I think they should have done like
We're in
if he has
territory, guys.
If he has 2 exhausts, then lose him power. That would have been fine. Would have been fine. I think it would have been a great, great compromise.
At least something so I can clear the goddamn devil.
Because that way it would have applied for Crucible and War. You would have had 2 defends, and then So
brand new, uncharted territory. I look forward to going through this with you all together and figuring out along the way.
Yep.
I mean, I feel that my Black Knight's getting beat too easily in War, so maybe they should take out the exhaust mechanic in that too.
A character like Black Knight, it would be reasonable to take out the exhaust mechanic because after he's actually clearable with teams on a one-shot.
Yeah.
He's clearable anyway. Like
True.
That character is very, very clearable.
Of the end.
Getting up the end.
He was, man. I mean, every single time he counters and fucking puts trauma on people in arena, like, it's crazy, man. Like, come on.
You did not need that powerful of a character to counter Skrull.
Yeah.
It's
Cabal,
crazy.
Like, Cabal's a perfect example of it. Cabal aren't the absolute, like, that. I mean, they are really good in Crucible, but they're not like overwhelming. They just have a little line in their passive that says "fuck you, Skrull," and that's it. That's all you gotta do.
Yep.
You don't need a character that says "fuck you" every character but me. That's just stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
It is, man. It was the beginning of the end. I'm telling you.
All right. Well, any other last comments from chat or anyone?
Oh, I got one more.
Okay.
Everybody, like and subscribe and give Updog some money, please.
Like and subscribe to Updog.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Changes. They might as well take that Mephisto can be revived.
Yeah, I guess. Might as well. All right.
If that guy ever becomes allowed to get revived, I'm forcibly dropping my rank in Crucible. I don't want to deal with that crap.
You just go play around in Platinum, right, Pat?
Yeah, I'll go hang out with the plat guys.
Updog, I do want to thank you for your ongoing public service to the Marvel Strike Force community, man. Thank you very much for all you do, buddy.
You're welcome. I do it for the community, and make sure you guys spend those resources wisely, and we will catch you in the next one.